Hi, I'm Jennifer and I'm one of the yoga instructors here at Excel Health and Fitness. Today I'll be guiding you through a post-workout flow. This workout can be used for recovery after any workout, but today we will be focusing on a few postures that are best suited for after a long run or a long walk or something of that nature. So in our yoga practice, we always like to focus on the breath. So we'll begin there, just in a nice, comfortable standing position. We'll begin to root down through the feet, taking those shoulders back nice and wide. We'll inhale, bringing the arms up overhead, maybe turning the gaze to meet the hands. And as we exhale, breathing through the nose, we'll bring the hands down through to heart center. Might do this a few times just to coordinate the body and the breath. Inhale, up. And exhale, release, coming down through to center. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, releasing the hands down to heart center. Now these stretches you can come into if you're just coming off of a quick run or if you're in a studio setting. You can do these at any time with or without props. So for now, we're just going to focus on coming into a nice balanced posture. We'll root down into all four corners of the left foot. And as we inhale, we'll begin to draw the right leg up, shifting the balance into the left leg. Maybe we just pause here with the right toes down toward the mat. And then maybe we begin to bring those toes up as we come into a variation of our stork pose. We're using this just as a transition today as we head into our first stretching posture. So when you're ready, we're going to kick that right foot back behind us, just coming into a high lunge here as we transition. We'll inhale the arms up overhead. And as we exhale, we'll bring the hands down through to heart center. And then we'll begin to come all the way down onto the right knee. We can pause here if this is enough, maybe untucking the right toes. And then we'll begin to inch the left foot forward just a bit. So we can begin to send those hips forward, activating this stretch. You might feel this a lot through the hips, hamstrings, and quad. Again, we'll stay here if this is enough, but we can take several variations of this posture. So if flexibility allows and we have the opportunity to use some support, maybe we begin to come down, finding blocks or whatever objects you might have at home or at the park near you. If we do not need any additional support here, we'll begin to bring the hands all the way down to the mat. Staying with that nice long breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. If we want to take this a bit deeper, we're going to take that left hand inside the left foot, coming down onto the palms. Maybe heel toeing the left foot out towards the outer edge of the mat. Really sinking in a bit deeper into the hips here. You might see that this pose is referred to as lizard or dragon, depending on the yoga practice that you might be a part of. So from here, if you feel like it, we might even begin to take this a little bit deeper. Maybe coming onto the forearms. Again, we can add the blocks here if that's more accessible. In a yin style practice, we might find ourselves in this posture for a few minutes, up to 5 minutes. So just staying here as long as you can, really allowing the body to feel the benefit of the practice. If we want to go a bit deeper, we might even begin to bring those left toes out to the left edge of the mat and open up through the knee as we rock onto the knife edge of the left foot. When you're ready to release, we'll bring that foot back down in contact with the mat, coming up onto the hands, reframing the foot. And for this transition, we're just going to bring this left foot all the way back to meet the right, just as we come into a tabletop position as we transition into our next pose. This next pose we'll be taking is our pigeon pose, or you might see it referred to as sleeping swan in some styles of yoga. This can be taken either from hands and knees here, or we can take it from downward facing dog. For the sake of this exercise, we're going to come into our downward facing dog as our next transition. So walking the hands about a hand length in front, We'll begin to tuck the toes, sending those hips nice and high, just transitioning here. Now, down dog is another really important posture that you'll find in many practices of yoga and can be very beneficial for a post-workout recovery. So if you'd like more information on this, that can be found on our website as well, or join us for a class. From here, we're going to make our way into our pigeon pose. So send that right foot nice and high. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the right knee toward the right wrist. Again, we can do this from hands and knees as well. We'll untuck the left toes and then begin to sink the hips back. We might want a little bit more support here. So we might bring a blanket or a block underneath the right hip, just making sure that we're nice and square with the top of the mat. From here, we want to make sure we check in with the knee. Some knees are going to be a little bit more sensitive, so we might want to bring the heel back a little bit closer to the hips. Otherwise, we're going to focus on flexing this right foot so we can protect the knee and try to make this shin parallel with the top of the mat. Once those hips are nice and grounded, parallel with the top of the mat, we'll slowly begin to release, coming all the way forward. Again, we might want some support here, so maybe we bring something for the head to rest on. Otherwise, we're going to see if we might be able to come all the way down onto the mat. As another modification to pigeon, it can be taken from the supine version, so laying on the back, we'll take a deep bend to both the knees with the soles of the feet on the mat. If we begin on the right side, we'll take the right foot up, keeping the right foot nicely flexed. We'll take a bend to the right knee as the right ankle comes on top of the left thigh. If this is enough, you can stay here. Otherwise, you might begin to bring your hand to that inner right thigh, gently pressing the knee open. You can add a block here as well for a little bit more leverage. And if you want to go even deeper, we can begin to take the left foot off of the mat, hugging the knees in toward the chest, maybe bringing the hands either along the left thigh or along the left shin. Taking a few breaths here, staying for as long as you can. When you're ready, releasing that left foot back down to the mat and uncrossing the legs. Then taking this on the opposite side. Again, we'll stay here for just a few rounds of breath, listening to your body, seeing if we can find our edge, and just staying there for as long as feels comfortable. When you're ready to come out of this pose, we'll begin to find the hands slowly coming all the way up, removing any props that we may have. And from here, we're just going to rock back over the hip, bringing that left foot forward, coming into our next posture. From here, we'll be coming into butterfly pose. So this one is very common. We might have seen this in other workout routines. So as we come into this pose, we're just gonna sit up nice and tall on the hip bones. If the hips are particularly tight, we might want to add some support underneath the knees here. Otherwise, we'll bring those soles of the feet together, just knowing we're going to make this as deep as we can by bringing the heels a little bit closer in toward the hips. From here, we'll sit up nice and tall. And when you're ready, as we exhale, we'll begin to walk the hands out in front of us, slowly coming forward. Finding whatever edge feels a little bit challenging to your body, and then beginning to settle forward. Staying here for a few rounds of breath, again listening to your body. Whenever you're ready, we'll begin to come all the way back up, nice and slow. That concludes our post-workout recovery flow. During practice, we would typically end with a few moments of Shavasana. So whether you have just come off the trail or you might be in the gym, just be sure to give yourself a few moments of stillness before you head out into your day. Thank you.